So there is nothing fancy about today's topic. Matter of fact, this is downright embarrassing. But we all make mistakes, and especially when it comes to stock market. In this video, I'll share my top 4 mistakes I made in 2020. Some of them I have lost forever, some of them I still hold and hope that I can recover. And we are starting right now. So the reason why I'm making this video is to share what I learned from my mistakes, and hopefully you can get an idea on what to avoid when placing trades. So let's start with what I completely lost. So on your screen, there is a chart here. So like everything else, October of last year was a great time for the stock market. Stocks were making all-time highs and everything was to the moon. In the same FOMO, I also bought few calls on Amazon. Now, they were not cheap calls by any means, but at that time, it looks like stock market can never come down. So on your screen, I'm going to point out, I bought 4 calls right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 for June 18, 2021, and I executed them on October 19th of 2020, and I paid a total of $100,000 for these calls. Now, I played them almost a year out, thinking that with another stimulus, and everyone is shopping on Amazon, there is no way I'm going to lose money on these. But I was wrong, dead wrong. As at one point, I was up almost 40% on these calls, but I did not sell hoping that it would touch my magic 50% mark and then I'll sell and I'll be out. Lesson number 1, profit is profit. Don't be greedy. And that's what I did. Well, it never touched 50%. And as you can see, I ended up losing $94,000 on this trade. I have that bad feeling like someone punched me in the stomach when I was selling these calls for only $7K after paying almost $100K for these calls. This was the money that I lost forever, cannot be recovered, total loss. Okay, so now let me share a few more names that I'm down big time and I still hold them. I'm not marking them as complete loss as these are the stocks that I own and will continue to own, but I rushed into buying them too soon. Let me know in the comments if any of you hold these and what price you got in. Okay, so number 1 in the list is the future of batteries. When the news came out, I waited a few days and then I could not resist and jump on this trade where I bought 1,000 shares of Quantum Escape right here. And my buy price was $58.48. I'm losing almost 61% on this trade. I'm still being patient, but trust me, it's hard to see that my almost $58,000 investment is now worth about $22,000. It's very hard to see every day that this stock is like dead, it's not doing anything. Okay, so that was the Quantum Escape story. The number 2 is one of many people's favorite stock, and I actually did a video early on, and the title was Why I'm Staying Away from This Stock, which I have. I bought it initially, and I just cannot get around to average down on this stock because I feel that they need to deliver and deliver fast. And the company I'm talking about is Lucid Motors right here. So as you can see on the screenshot that I have about 2,100 shares of Lucid and I bought these shares at a price of about $35. Now, it's very hard to see that my almost $73,000 investment is now only worth about $41,000. So I'm losing almost 44% on this trade, which is of course a very hard thing to digest. And the problem is that the company is not delivering the cars. They need to deliver the cars. They were supposed to deliver the cars in Q1, then it pushed out to Q2. And now we are seeing that they are going to deliver the car this year or this quarter, but we don't know that. Lesson number 2. Not all companies will be Tesla. Now, I'm still not saying that I'm going to sell the stock, I'm going to get out and take my money what I have. No, I still believe that once the car comes out, the company will deliver. But the problem is with the chip shortages, it's getting harder and harder even for the most mature companies to produce cars. And they are new kid on the block. So it'll be more harder for them to ramp up the speed or the production and the volume that we all need for this stock to move. That was my number 2 mistake. Number 3 is Teledoc. This company had an amazing run last year, right here, okay? Amazing run. I still think company will do amazing, but as I mentioned, this is a video of the mistakes I made. So here is what I did wrong. I bought this company at the peak and I ignored the charts which were telling me that this company is overpriced, but because of COVID, I was too bullish and bought the stock at a much higher price. As you can see, I bought about 500 shares of Teledoc at almost $200. Right now, I'm down almost 26% on this company, or I hold about $72,000 in this company. Again, I'm still bullish on this company. I think the future of medicine is telemed. My buy price was just too high. Now, one thing is common among all of it. I have not averaged down on any of them as I would on any other company, just because I have not seen any catalyst that will excite me to make that push. I sometimes sell covered calls on Teledoc to make some money because again, my cost was $197, so I sell covered calls on 200, 2 to 3 weeks out to make some consistent money, but I don't do much with the others as I would rather waste my energy on stocks that will give me more return with less time invested. So if you pay attention, all of those losses came in 2020 surge when the market was going really high and when everything was going to the moon is when I placed these trades. And that is why I always say in my videos that FOMO is a very hard thing to control in the stock market. Now, 2020 was my best year. I mean, till now, till date, 2020 was my best year. I made some amazing gains, but at the same time, I did make some horrible and terrible mistakes or choices, as you can see on the screen. So this experience taught me two things. Number one, doesn't matter what the industry or the stock is, always do your own due diligence and wait a little bit longer as there will always be another chance. Number two, get hold of FOMO, which relates to number one point that there will always be another chance. So I'm going to link my investing versus trading video over here that breaks down my approach in the stock market. If you have not watched it, then do click on the video as it does break down on what I look for in the companies. Hope I provided some value to some of you and some of you might relate with me on the trades that I place. Let me know in the comments as I love chatting with you all. And if you like something, then please consider subscribing, hit the like button so we can reach out to more investors. Thank you for giving me your time. Hope you all have an amazing long weekend. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.